how to manage my money in the COVID-19 pandemic. My name is Izzy Lewis. A little bit about me. I am the senior staffing consultant for a company called Feel Better, Do Better Staffing and Consulting. It takes my pleasure to come here today. A little bit about my background. I do have a master's degree in human development, certified financial guru, certified job performance coach from SMU, Southern Methodist University, certified job conflict coach, and I'm also an author of a book called Think in the Now for Success. So I do know that within these times it's very difficult. So I want to take maybe a couple of minutes just to give my audience, my students, my supporters, some small little tips about how to save money throughout these times. We're mainly going to focus on the simple things that we can do, nothing major. And so, how to manage my money in the COVID pandemic. The first thing we want to do, we want to review our mandatory expenses. What is our mandatory expenses, everyone? Those would be my rent or my mortgage. It would be my utilities such as my energy bill, my gas bill, my telephone bill, whether it be a landline or a cell phone, because most of us now have cell phones, so that's okay. And essentially, we want to review our food bill, the things we consume into our body to be strong and to be able to wake up and get up every single day, okay? So let's move forward. The first thing we want to do, okay, when we're trying to cut costs, the first thing you want to do, you want to go and Google. And you want to Google links that you can find. Most importantly, you want to try to save money. Most of the time, there's updated links of help from the state, the government, or even community foundations that you can find. Then you also want to move on to the little things you can do around the house. You want to, first of all, change the settings on your appliances, such as your television. You want to put it on energy saver. Believe it or not, that does help. So what happens is after a couple of hours of using that television, and if you're not watching it, it senses that and it takes it off for you. Another good money saver is disconnecting, unplugging utilities, appliances that you're not using. For example, a toaster or whatever you can think of that you're not using, you want to unplug those so that it's not drawing that power. Another little small thing you can do, which most people would say, well, I'm going to be cold, but you're not. You can turn your heat down at night when you go to bed. Believe it or not, when you're under the covers, you're getting body warmth from your covers. So turn it down, not totally low, but maybe at 58 or 60. You would be amazed how that changes your utility bill at the end of the month. And I do want you guys to check in with me even after you have listened into this class a couple of times. Check in with me. I want to know how it's working. I want to get feedback from you, and I want to help you along the way to remind you of things that you can do to literally see the results as soon as possible. So let's talk about your phone bill. How do I cut costs on my phone bill, guys? So the first thing you want to know is that even when you have a cell phone, you can also decrease that. There's a lot of the companies that are working with individuals at this time, Verizon, Fios, Optimum. They're giving you a chance to add your cell phone to your television package and or your cable package, and most of the times it's only like $20 for unlimited calls, unlimited service, just as you have with most companies. Another option is you can pretty much see if you can add yourself to a family plan. Most of the times it's $10 or $20. I just did it anyway with T-Mobile. You can also have an upgrade check to see what offers they have. They literally, because I've been a member with them, a customer for so long, they offered me a free line, and all I had to do was to pay for the phone. So I don't have to pay a monthly fee for the free line. Isn't that awesome? It is awesome. And so there's multiple ways you can see where you can save. Get on the phone, make phone calls, check your plan, see what family members are doing, see how we can, get together and help each other in most situations. Again, we're talking about how to manage my money in the COVID-19 pandemic. Let's now talk about I just mentioned joining plans with family. Believe it or not, most of the time you're talking about $20 per phone, unlimited services. That could be through adding a line, or that could be through adding with the cable companies, okay? Let me know how that works. So let's talk about your food bill. Let's talk about how you feed yourself. Let's talk about what do we do. And I'm not telling you to starve yourself. I'm telling you to do some little small things that assist you to see that cost cut in hard times like these. You want to make sure you're stocked up in the house with fluids such as Gatorade, flavored water, and regular water. You want to stay hydrated, of course. You also want to look for coupons, deals, weekend sales when you're doing your grocery shopping. Most importantly, guys, you don't want to shop daily for food. Don't go to grocery stores every day. That's where the money goes so fast and quickly. You want to probably do a once a week trip. Most importantly, you want to only buy the things that you and your family will eat. I know most of us are used to stocking up on stuff and kind of be safe and be ahead of everything, but you want to only buy what you will eat. That way you can budget your money, okay? We're almost close to the end of this session, but I do want to remind you, we want to mask up with everything we do. We want to be safe, we want to protect each other, and we want to save lives. Always wear a mask everywhere you go. Now let's talk about, so after you get all this information, okay, and I will have a second session with following up with you, but after you get all this information, what is very crucial and what is very important is, well, what do you do with it? I want to tell you what you want to do. You want to follow up with the cell phone company expenses. You want to share your experiences with me. I will create a chat where you can share your updates, or you can also contact me. Share with me how it works so I can share with other people. Also, if you need copies of these slides, please email me, feelbetterconsulting at iCloud.com. That's feelbetterconsulting at iCloud.com. And I'm more than happy to send you copies of these PowerPoints. Now, you want to check on that Google. When you do click Google and you find information, you want to immediately make those phone calls, click those links. You want to also tell me what happens. Also let me know the good news, because there's tons of information on there. And believe it or not, if you can be on social media, you can be on Google. Social media takes a lot of time. Google takes seconds to do. All you got to do is to plug in information, plug in your zip code, say what you're searching for, put a comma on there, put your zip code, and you will get all the information that relates to your specific areas, regardless of where you are, okay? Don't forget to unplug the appliances that you're not using. Tell me how that works with your next bill, okay? Now, let's wrap this up a little bit, and I want to share with you, I'm also an author of a book listed as Think